right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the elders of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations unto the Akim I heard pushing his gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is Brother Quanah Watts from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you with another in transit. Lord will, it is edifying. Lord will, it is straight to the point. And I was just meditating. Really, I was meditating on another lesson, right? And, once I ultimately started doing the lesson, man, the Spirit ultimately hit, on this topic right here of, desiring, a better country, right? Desiring a better, place, right? Than what we are currently in, right? We're in, the worst case scenario, right? We're under the worst of the worst, right? Which is Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man. He is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, right? Pursuing to Malachi 1 and 4, Job 9 and 24, right? Esau Edom is the wicked man. And see, we're under his rule, and as of right now, he's done nothing but destroy and demolish everything that we can think of that the Lord ultimately created good, right? Like the earth itself, right? Not following the law, statutes, commandments, right? Allowing for a land Sabbath so that the earth can replenish itself, and the fruits and the crops and whatnot that come from it, right, can ultimately benefit us, the way they're supposed to, right? But see, Esau fucked all that up, man. You got the ecosystem within the ocean, right? The coral, the certain fish that that are the crabs and the shrimps, the lobsters, right? Esau's eating them, man, and they're the ones that are supposed to be cleaning. Those are cleaners, man. Filters, if you will. But see, Esau wants to push people to eat those things, which is doing nothing but doing what, man? Causing people to get sick. Causing people, to their bodies to, to break down. This is who we are under, and this is the state of the world, right? Esau has fucked up the air, right? He's constantly putting, different chemicals, and whatnot into the air, right? People got to breathe that in, and causing, asthma, causing, all these different kinds of diseases within the body. Right? And this is what we have to deal with, man. And this is not how it's supposed to be, man. This is not how it's supposed to be, right? And this is why, scriptures talk about, we're not for his turn, right? We don't want this damn devil to continue to rule, right? We don't want this damn devil to ultimately, continue his destruction and wickedness. We don't want none of that, man. We want a new country, man. We desire a better country. We desire the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, just like our forefathers did, man. Right? Which brings me to this precept right here in Hebrews the 11th chapter. When you go into this chapter, right, it goes into examples of faith. Right? Let's jump up to the top. It got a header, right? It says the great examples of faith. Right? This whole chapter, right, speaks on faith, right? But I want to read, you read it in the KJV, but I want to read these few verses in the NLT, right? Which are heavy, right? This is Hebrews 11 and 13 in the NLT. It says, all these people died still believing what the Most High had promised them. You know what I mean? Again, it goes into our forefathers, right? Abraham, right? Sarah, David, King David, King Solomon, right? Moses, goes into, a plethora, a handful of our forefathers, man. And the fact that they kept the faith. No matter what, man. No matter how things look, no matter, how bad things got, they continue to fight that good fight of faith all the way into the end, just like Apostle Paul said, man. So these all, as it says right here, all these died believing what the Most High had promised them, right? They died having that faith, you know, because belief is faith, right? It says they did not receive what was promised, right? Because the kingdom wasn't, you know, it wasn't, you know, set to come in their times, man. You know, but it's coming in this time, right? Scriptures say that our salvation is nearer than when we believe, man. And it's close, man. It's so freaking close. We can smell it. You know, we could damn near taste it. You know, that's how close it is, man. You know, damn near reach out and grab it, man. Right? It says they did not receive what was promised, but they saw it all from a distance and welcomed it. Right? They knew that it was coming. They're like, okay, you know, I just got to keep the faith. I got to continue to stand stiffly for the name, you know. And Lord, will I be of that number, right? We'll receive the promise. And they were all in the same mindset that we're in today, right? Hoping that they were going to receive that blessing, you know. Why? Because they love not their lives unto death. Revelations, man. You know, they love not their lives unto death, right? But it says right here, it says, but what? It says they agreed that they were foreigners and nomads on earth. So they weren't spiritually attached to this place, man. They were spiritually detached. And that's how we gotta be, man. We gotta spiritually detach from this place. Yes, we have to go to work. Yes, we have families, you know, that we gotta take care of. We have duties, man, that, you know, we ultimately have to fulfill. But at the end of the day, man, we're looking for the kingdom, man. The kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to be established, and righteousness, right, to blanket this entire world, the entire existence. Because right now, wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, as the scriptures say in 2 Ezra the 15th chapter. You know, and that started, you know, from the top down, right? Who's on top? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, right? Sirach the 10th chapter, right? As the judge is, so is his officers and those that dwell under him. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Right? So wickedness has come from the top down, but see, righteousness is going to come from the top down as well, man. You know? And the difference between the two is righteousness will last forever. Wickedness is coming to a short and quick end, right? We say the joy of the hypocrites, but for a moment. You know? And Esau is the biggest fucking hypocrite, man. Esau is the biggest hypocrite. And he's coming to an end. Job 14:5. He gave him bounds that he cannot pass. You know? So we see, as we see this place going down, we see that our come up is starting to take place, man. You know? It says right here, verse 14, it says, obviously people who say such things are looking forward to a country they can call their own, right? Because this ain't ours, man. Who would want this shit? You know? This destroyed, polluted ass place, as it says in Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart. You know? Arise ye and depart. Matter of fact, let me grab that. And I'll grab it in the, we'll see what it says in the NLT, but I really want to grab it in the KJV, right? It's Micah 2:10. It says, up, be gone. Right. I'll read it in the KJV. It's not bad, but I'll read it in the KJV instead, right? I like what it says better. Micah 2:10, it says, arise ye and depart, right? Again, spiritually. Depart from this place, right? It says, for this is not your rest. This is not our rest, man. You know? This is not our rest, right? Because if we ultimately had that, if this was our rest, man, hey, we'd be on top. You know, we would be on top. All the blessings of Deuteronomy 28th chapter would be upon us, man. You know? Starting at verse 1 to 15. You know? But we're not, right? We're on bottom. Right? This is not our rest, man. Which is why we, you know, gotta, you know, continue to present our bodies a living sacrifice, continue to fight that good fight of faith. Because this is not time for us to just kick back and relax and, you know. No, man, we gotta work, we gotta fight. You know? It's time to, you know, spiritually pick up that sword, right? Which our sword is the scriptures, man. You know? And you know, go to war, if you will. Right? Spiritually, man. You know, as it says right here, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction. So this place is polluted, man. Right? This place is destroyed, and it started, you know, with who was in charge. You know? Everything is completely turned. So like, everything is completely turned upside down, man. You know? Nothing is right. Right? The scriptures talk about that this is a place where wrong judgment proceedeth, man. There, no righteousness is being done here in this earth, except through the men of the Lord, right? The prophets. You know, those that truly believe. You know? But even then, right, we're still in these chains of darkness. We're still in the flesh, subject to sin. So, hey, really, our righteousness is as filthy rags, man. So, hey, either way, this is just a fucked up situation, man. You know? So why would we want to stay here? Why would we want to, you know, continue in this shit? You know, you shouldn't want to, man. You know, you got dudes, right, in these different camps talking about another 1,000 years, 30 years, this, that, and the third. Right? Building, you know, a compound and all this other shit. That shit's bullshit, man. You niggas want to stay here, man. You niggas love oppression. You just like them fucking goddamn Israelites that came out of Egypt, you know, talking about you brought us out of the land of milk and honey. They were talking about Egypt, man. Because they were given shit there, man. They want to stay slaves. They want to stay, you know, fucking asleep. Well, no, we don't, man. Fuck those niggas, man. You know? Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His only beloved begotten Son, Yahushua, are not dealing with these other camps, man. Right? They're dealing with great millstone, right? With our elder apostles on down. You know? Because they're in the same, we are in the same spirit as our forefathers as we're reading, right? Let's go back to Hebrews. You know? Desiring a new country, right? Grab it back in the NLT, right? Not wanting this place to continue, right? But wanting it to end, right? I'll keep reading Hebrews 11, so I can't pass it. And verse 15, it says, if they had longed for the country they came from, they could have gone back, but they were looking for a better place, right? A better place. Better than this. What's better than this? Righteousness, man. The kingdom to come is better than this. Right? And we understand that this place has to be destroyed in order for that which is good, right, to come. Right? That's 2 Ezra, the 4th chapter, verse 28, 29. You know? So we know that this place has to be destroyed. So as we see prophecy unfolding, hey, we're rejoicing, man. Giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because we know it's coming to an end soon. Right? This isn't something that it's going to last another 5 years. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way this place is going to last another 5 years. I mean, you know, I'm just speaking as a man. You know, I hope, we pray that it's not going to last another 5 years. You know, we were saying that, you know, in 2021, 2020, when this whole thing was popping off, you know. But hey, guess what? We're prisoners of hope, so we're going to keep on hoping and having faith into the end, Lord will, man. You know? No matter how long it takes. Because we understand that this place is prophesied to go down. And just like these other, you know, kingdoms and rulerships that were, you know, that were up and running at one point. The Greeks, the Romans, right? The Assyrians, right? The Neo-Babylonians, so on and so forth. All of them. They all were prophesied to go down. And guess what? They went down. You know? Hey, so best believe this place, America, right? Called Babylon the Great in the scriptures is going to go down, man. You know, which means that better place is coming soon, right? It says, but they were looking for a better place and a heavenly homeland. A heavenly homeland where we're going to be in heaven, man. Which heaven and hell are a condition, right? A condition of one's life, man. Right? Esau is in his heaven. Right? Right now, we're in hell. We got to wake up at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. 2-3 hours before the sun even comes up. Even thinks about coming up. Just to go to work our asses off, man. You know, which is all part of the curses, right? You know, scriptures talk about that, you know, that we shall, you know, eat our bread by the sweat of our brow, you know? Meaning we got to work our asses off in order to, you know, make ends meet, in order to get anything. But still, you know, who wants to fucking do that shit forever, man? These peons out here, man, they want to do that shit forever. Those are truly in the right spirit, man. The spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai are not going to want to do that shit forever. We want to be on top, man. We want our turn. We're not for his turn. We're for our turn. We're for Yahweh Shai to come and get his glory here on earth and to establish righteousness in the earth forever. That's what we're about, man. Fuck this place, man. A little 401k. Like, I'm putting 10% of my check into 401k. Man, fuck that 401k, man. Fuck your Roth IRA. Fuck your trust funds. Fuck your banking system. You know? Fuck anything and everything about this place. Especially who's in charge. You know? It says, that is why the Most High is not ashamed to be called their power, for he has prepared a city for them. And Yahweh Shai said it, man. Right? He said, I go to prepare a place for you. So currently, as of right now, man, Yahweh Shai, you know, is forming different planets and different, you know, solar systems and whatnot, right? Because he said, what? In my Father's house are many mansions, right? And those mansions go into these different planets and solar systems and whatnot that Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai has ultimately promised to the elect, you know, more specifically the elect men, you know, for them and their families to inhabit, you know, and to grow and to, you know, experience. Scriptures say that, you know, rejoice forever in that which the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Shai created. I think it's Isaiah the 65th chapter. You know, it says rejoice forever in that which the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Shai created. So for all eternity, we're going to continue to discover new things. We're going to continue to enjoy even the smallest things, man. Just to sit back and sip on some yayan with our feet up, watching our kids playing, man. That's what we come. That's what we're desiring, and we can't do that here, man. Hence Micah 2:10, man. You know. So fuck this place, man. If you want to be here, you want to stay here, man. You're not in the right spirit, man. And may Yahweh B'Hashem Shai, you know, destroy your ass, man. You know, for you fucking Israelites that want to stay here, man. Fucking bugged out ass niggas, man. You know, but I was just meditating on that, man. You know, desiring a better country, a better place. Right? Because at the end of the day, at the beginning and the end of the day, man, as soon as we wake up, man, shit, while we sleeping, man, we moaning, man. Scriptures talk about that our spirit, you know, is groaning, man. You know, maketh intercession for us, man. Our spirit is groaning being here. You know, which just shows you how fucking bad this place is, man. You know, but that's all I got, man. You know, Lord will is edifying. Lord will, you know, it was inspiring. You know, Lord will, again, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rachak, Wadash, that belongs to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the elders of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Till next time, I say shalom.